and in this video I'm going to show you my newest guitar. This is a Suhr Standard Plus, and at the end of this video I'm going to talk about an alternative to this guitar. If you're looking for something like this, similar specs, I've got a different guitar, different brand that you might find interesting. Now if you're not familiar with Suhr's Standard Plus line, it debuted in 2018 replacing the Suhr Standard Pro line. And when we get into the specs, I'll talk a little bit about what's changed from the old Pro to the new Plus. Now I think it's helpful also to talk about where this guitar sits within the Suhr family of instruments. And it'll make sense in a minute why I'm going through this. But basically you've got three lines of guitars with Suhr. You've got the Classic, the Standard, and the Modern. Classic, those are based on your traditional, Strat, Tele, etc. designs, old school Fender designs. And if it's worth noting, I think, that John Suhr, who runs Suhr Guitars, actually spent several years in the 90s running Fender's custom shop before he started Suhr Guitars. So he definitely knows his way around some high-quality Fender instruments. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we have the Moderns, and really the specs on those are intended for shredders, people who want to shred. I mean, you've got thin, fast necks, jumbo frets, screaming pickups, just perfect for shredding. And then you have the Standards, and those kind of fall between the Classic and the Modern. They kind of borrow from both. And that's really what I was looking for when I purchased this guitar. I wasn't looking for another shredder guitar, and I wasn't looking for another, purely traditional. I was looking for one of those blends, and I think the Standard Pluses do a really good job at that. Now, there are, of course, different models within the different lines. I won't go through all of those, but on the screen here, I just wanted to give you a few examples. So left to right, first you have the two Classics I'm showing, the Classic S and the Classic T. Then with the Standards, you have left to right the Standard and the Standard Plus. What makes it a Plus? Well, it is a different wood, but you also have a different top. When you have the flamed top like this, it's the most important thing that distinguishes the Standard regular to the Standard Plus. And then for the two Moderns I'm showing, you've got the Modern Satin and a Modern Plus. Again, nice top. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the specs on the guitar. So first we have a basswood body with a flamed maple top. This is in a finish called Bahama Blue, which I really dig. And this particular top that you're looking at right here, this individual guitar, this is not what most of the Standard Pluses look like. Okay, this one's kind of a very curly, it looks almost quilted, right? It's a very, very curly top. And here's some pictures of some other Standard Plus guitars with the same Bahama Blue finish, but look at it's much more traditional, conservative flame. And don't get me wrong, I think those look amazing. They look fantastic. If I hadn't stumbled across this guitar, I would have been happy with any of those. Okay, I think they look awesome. But when I saw this one, I thought, wow, it truly is different than all of the other Standard Pluses I've seen out there. I've not seen another one that has curly type maple. I don't know if this is actually a curly maple or what it is, but when I saw it, I thought, wow, either this is it's an anomaly, it's a mistake, or whatever the reason is. I feel like I have a unique guitar here, so that's why I chose it. All right, the pickups. These are Suhr's own pickups. We've got in the bridge position their SSH Plus single screw humbucker, and it's actually their second loudest pickup. The only pickup that's hotter than this one from Suhr is the Doug Aldrich model. But this is the same bridge pickup they're using in the Modern series, the one that I said is for shredding. It's a great pickup. This thing can scream, man, I gotta tell you. And for those of you that are familiar with my videos know that primarily the music I play is 70s and 80s influenced hard rock, so I appreciate having a fat humbucker in the bridge that can scream, and this one does the job fantastically. The other two pickups, the two single coils, these are Suhr's V60, vintage 60s, so it's supposed to replicate, the sound of a old school 60s single coil pickup. But you also have Suhr's proprietary noise canceling system in the guitar, so you get that great classic single coil sound without the hum. I really love all these pickups. I think Suhr knocked it out of the park. This may actually be one of my favorite pickups I've played on this SSH Plus. I really dig it. Volume tone. The tone is a push-push circuit, not push-pull, but push-push. You push it in once, and what it does is it splits the bridge pickup into a split coil mode. So if you want a single coil sound down here, you've got that. Push it again, it puts it back into humbucker mode. Push, push. Okay. You got your 5-way selector. I don't need to go into the configurations. You should know that, or you can look it up. Proloid pickguard. Now the bridge is a Goto 510 with a steel block, nice sturdy bridge. Got a little bit of, you can pull up on it a little bit. Now I'm not going to treat this like a Floyd Rose and dive the bar all the way down to the body, but for its purpose it plays really well. And in fact, this bridge, this Goto 510, is Suhr's go-to. It's the Goto is their go-to for bridges. So any bridge on a Suhr guitar with a tremolo most likely is going to be this 510, whether it's the Goto 510, whether it's the classic, standard, or the modern. This is their default on the modern too, the shredding guitar, believe it or not. Now you can get a Floyd Rose on the modern series, but only on the satin finish, which I think is interesting. Why not offer it on the one with the plus top? But whatever. Like I said, this is a great tremolo. Okay, what else before we go on to the neck? Well, you have your typical contours. You got your arm contour, you got your tummy contour, you got a little bit of a hand contour here. The block here, it's kind of this borrows from the classic side. It's your traditional kind of square heel here. The moderns do have a sculpted heel for a little bit easier access to the upper frets, but this isn't bad. This feels relatively comfortable. All right, so the neck. This is see if I can get this in for you pretty nicely. This is a roasted maple neck. Now that's one of the changes from the old Pro that had just a standard maple neck, but this is a nice toasty roasted maple. And in addition, the fretboard on this one is roasted maple. Okay, now you have the choice with the Standard Plus of either a roasted maple or Palfaro, which many of you know is kind of like a rosewood substitute that's been popularized over the last few years. But I really wanted the roasted maple, less from a sonic standpoint and more just aesthetically. I just love the look of this delicious toasty roasted maple. Of course it's a Suhr, so we've got stainless steel frets. Now these frets are, the fret size is they call it heavy. I've never heard another guitar manufacturer describe their frets as heavy, but some people will say, oh, they're short and fat, right? Now, in terms of the size, it's really somewhere between a jumbo and a medium jumbo, okay? So it's, in terms of the width, it's in between a jumbo and a medium jumbo, but pretty close to a jumbo, about 3/4 of the way to the jumbo side. And the height is also in between a medium jumbo and a jumbo, about halfway. So again, it's kind of in between a medium jumbo and a jumbo. Kind of triangular looking. It's probably hard for you to tell from that distance, but I like them. I think it's comfortable for me. What else is worth mentioning? Oh, of course we have some locking tuners up there at the top. And one thing I forgot to mention earlier, the one other change between the old Pro and the new Plus, in addition to the roasted maple, is these pickups. They upgraded to some new Suhr pickups, the single coils that is, so that's the other thing that changed. So not a lot changed from the old Pro to the Plus, but in terms of the quantity of things, but important changes. Okay, next I'm going to play some audio clips for you so you can hear some of the different pickup configuration settings with this guitar. And I'm running the Suhr Standard Plus through my Line 6 Helix. Now, I mentioned earlier that I was going to talk about another guitar that you might want to consider if you're looking at one of these Suhr Standard Pluses. And that guitar is, it's actually an Ibanez, part of their AZ series, which also debuted in 2018. And this is the AZ2204F. And let me put a picture of that up on the screen next to a picture of a Standard Plus. And look how similar they look just from first glance. And I think, definitely Ibanez is going for that same market that Suhr is going for with the Standard Pluses, with their AZ series. Now, what are the differences? So the Suhr has a basswood body, flame maple top. The Ibanez has a alder body with a flame maple top. All right. And what's interesting is look at the pictures. See, okay, the one thing I need to call out is that picture of the Standard. That's a fantastic looking flame, isn't it? The one on the Ibanez looks kind of, right? But understand that Suhr in this picture, they're putting their best foot forward. That's a fantastic looking top. All the other ones I've seen look great, but that one's stunning. And I've seen pictures of some of the Ibanez that look better than what Ibanez is putting forward. Maybe it's the humbleness of the Japanese, I don't know. But I want to call that out. Now, they both have Goto bridges. And in terms of pickups, again, the Suhr has Suhr's own pickups. The Ibanez has Seymour Duncan Hyperion pickups. Now, full disclosure, I have not picked up the Ibanez, so I'm just giving you specs right now. It wouldn't be fair of me to say, oh, it's just as good a guitar when I haven't picked it up and played it. I've heard great things about it, really great things about it, though. Okay.
They both have a Perloyd pickguard.
They both have a switching system that allows splitting of the humbucker in a single coil. They both have a roasted maple neck and a roasted maple fingerboard. They both have stainless steel frets, although again, these are the heavies that are between a medium jumbo and a jumbo. On the Ibanez, they are jumbo. They both have locking tuners. And and the Ibanez doesn't have the traditional heel, it's got a sculpted heel. They went for more of a sculpted thing. Okay. Now, what else is different? The case. All right. Now, the Standard Plus, this is one of the, I guess, criticisms I would have of it. It doesn't come with a case. Like most Suhr guitars, it comes with a gig bag. Now, that gig bag is the nicest damn gig bag I've ever seen, but I would have much rather had a case. When you're paying this much for a guitar, it should come with a case, in my opinion. In fact, Suhr sells their gig bags for $100, and they sell their cases for $200. $100 difference. I would have gladly paid an extra $100 to get a case for this. Again, the gig bag's really nice, but I prefer the sturdiness of a case. The Ibanez comes with a case. All right, now what about price? That's got to be an important factor, right? Obviously it is. The Suhr street price is $29.95. The Ibanez's is $24.99. So roughly, $500 difference. That's pretty big. But again, I can't, without having played the Ibanez, I can't tell you if it's as great of a guitar as this. I'm in love with this guitar. I've got quite a few guitars, but this is one where it's definitely, I've only had it for a day, and already I'm just blown away at the quality, the craftsmanship. This is just such a fantastically playing guitar. I'm sure the Ibanez is too, right? It's a prestige. They always play nice. And the Suhrs have incredible resale values too. It's another factor. So again, I'm not saying it's an apples to apples comparison, but they've got very similar specs. All right, so you might want to again keep that Ibanez in mind if you're thinking about this one too. All right, that was my video on the Suhr Standard Plus guitar. I hope you found it helpful, informative, useful. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll answer as time allows. Until next time, rock on.